guys, this is Jay Lethal, the Blunt Machismo, and woo, the Nature Boy, and you're listening to the Potsy and Tino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings to you its tag team champions of the world. That's right, it's Potsy and Tino. That's Tino Gray. I'm Rob Potsy Potchak. Our theme song is always brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Song. It's available on iTunes for 99 cents. And off air, I was just telling Tino that I really don't remember watching any wrestling last week.
I told him that's kind of the point of the show.
I know that I watched, but I don't remember it. Like, it's all a blur now, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I mean, honest to God, you know, like we'll obviously break it down a little bit better a little bit later, but like SmackDown, I could pretty much sit there and say, okay, what I assume happened is Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns came out and talked about Brock Lesnar because they're gonna have the match at Crown Jewel. You got the four women, where Bianca has now taken Bayley's place in the four horsewomen, apparently. And those four women only get to wrestle each other, where, you know, then you have all the other women that aren't allowed to wrestle them for whatever reason. And then you got the Usos, and then you got Sami Zayn trying to become Dominic's now third father.
Who?
Dominic.
No, who's trying to be his third father?
Sami Zayn trying to be his third daddy.
Oh.
So I think I already know what happened on SmackDown, right? Even if I don't remember watching it. No, that's not what happened.
Did you not? I'm surprised you didn't mark out over Paulie's promo.
Oh yeah. And we'll get to that, but Tino, we always start the show with a little segment called "What's Up with You?"
Not much. We had a pretty chill weekend till Sunday. So Sunday Matthew got baptized, which was awesome, cool. So yeah, got baptized, and
that doesn't happen when you're like a baby.
Well, it does, but then too, and we also believe that when you're a baby, you don't really have a choice. So, you know, now when you get a little older and understand more, what the purpose behind baptism is, you know, and then so he wanted to do it. He wanted to do it again, and we sat down with him, and he explained why, and he he understand what it is, and that he's dedicating his life. So we're like, all right, cool. So we got him back. He got baptized. What's up? And then Sunday night, Nicole says she could tell his voice, something's wrong with his voice. He got up Monday because they didn't have school and he didn't feel good. So I took him to the doctor just to do the COVID test, even though he's vaccinated. But we just wanted to make sure. And it came back negative, so he's good to go. He just probably has some kind of head congestion thing. Doctor said, has he ever had allergies? We're like, nah, not that we know of. So he just told him to take some Claritin. He took Claritin, and I guess it dried it up or whatever. He's feeling much better now. He's not stuffy and all that stuff, so it's good. But that's about the excitement. I leave out this Saturday coming up. I'm going to Hickory going back to Hickory for a monthly show. So that's about it. I don't have a whole lot going on. Just working and yeah. Ready to play. I hadn't played in a few weeks, so I'm ready to get back out there and play.
Gotcha. Well, you also haven't come out and sang karaoke with us.
Keep for you, dude.
Because we moved. So just so everybody knows, we moved the show.
That's why you're not watching wrestling, because you're out Monday nights karaoke.
Because I'm out karaokeing. Yeah, way too late too. I'm too old for it, man.
I don't have to do karaoke anymore. I get paid when I sing.
Oh, I see how it is.
Now, unless there's like I used to go and hustle the karaoke contest. If there's
Chris Barrett said you're going to Hickory to visit the farm.
Nah, man, but yeah, I get paid good money. I will go down there every month.
Yeah. So I have Fayetteville Comic Con this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm staying in Fayetteville all weekend long for Fayetteville Comic Con, where I'm one of the premier comic book guests, and what I hold in my hand, Tino, is 50 copies of what we in the comic book industry call an ash can. You ever heard of what an ash can is?
Yeah, you were talking about that last week.
So I've now printed and stapled all 50 copies. Here's what's funny. I got 45 copies with a color cover and 5 copies just black and white because my printer, which you know, like whenever you buy printer ink, it always tells you how many pages it can print.
Yes.
And it's always like thousands of pages or whatever.
They lie.
It printed 45.
Was it new?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, granted, we're talking, okay, so if you're going to print something in color and it's talking about thousands of pages, it means words, so it's just going in blue, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I can't show it because I haven't announced the comic yet because I'm announcing it at Fayetteville, but like it's half of an 8.5 by 11 page on 45 copies is full color. But amazingly, the black ink ran out when it finished 45 full copies of the book. So I had to, so I did luckily have another black ink cartridge. So I was able to print 5 more copies in black and white, which is cool because, it makes it even rarer to get the one with the black and white cover.
That's cool. I still want to see this when we get off air.
But you've already seen some of it, so.
Oh, is it the same thing? Just the colors and everything? Okay.
Yeah. It's just I actually printed an actual book.
Got it.
And the back cover's blank, so I can show that. But in case anybody wants a sketch or something on them. But yeah, so I'm doing that this weekend. I'll be back late Sunday, so I'll be back for our show on Tuesday. But then the following week, and I guess I should just wait until next week to talk about it, but I'll be in Kentucky for Scarefest. So that'll be a huge horror convention that's got like Bruce Campbell at it. It's got the guy that played, it was supposed to have Tony Todd, but Tony Todd backed out. But it's got the guy that played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th, 7 through Jason Goes to Hell.
Nice.
So it's I'm pretty excited about these 2 events. Because normally when we like Fayetteville, normally like they have a couple of VIP event things like after hours or whatever, and I don't normally stay in town. I normally drive back home and then drive back out the next day. But I'm actually staying out there this time to participate.
Now, the people that you said you might be getting to do a panel with, I don't want to say it because what I'm saying, but can you say it on there or no?
So I'll go ahead and tell you that currently the plan is that they're going to be holding at least 2 wrestling panels during it because they've got some wrestling guests. And the one wrestling guest panel is supposed to be Melina, Victoria, and SoCal Val.
Nice.
So the 3 of them are supposed to do a panel, and as of right now, I believe I'm scheduled to host that panel. So if not, I'll probably be sitting in the audience with everybody else. But yeah, so I'll be sitting there, hopefully asking the questions. And then there's another panel I think on Sunday, which is supposed to be the Ryback.
That's the one I was going to say. I thought there was somebody. I saw going back through my text. I'm like, you said somebody else too. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Well, I awesome. Forgot that SoCal Val was going to be there because I've always wanted to meet her. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, but does Al Snow know who you are? No, I don't think so. Mick Foley knows who I am.
Oh, cool.
So I mean, I'm happier knowing that anyway because one of them's a Hall of Famer. And the other one only ever tried to get the lazy boy job, but they realized he couldn't sell chairs.
Now, seeing as you're on the panel with them, do you think we get some spots?
Well, that's the trick, right? So I'm gonna see whether or not, like, if I host the panel, if if they'll each do a little spot for the show. So I'm hoping anyway, and I'm kind of excited regardless, because I'll be wearing my Potsy and Tino show mask.
That you didn't tell me were available, because I want to get one. I didn't know they were in existence.
They are at the same place you can buy the T-shirt.
But you didn't tell me they were there. Last I heard, you're thinking about doing it.
Well, I got you one. You just haven't come over.
Oh, well.
Like there is one in this house right now for Tino already.
Oh, well, I need to come get that then.
Yes, you do.
Eventually.
But yeah, so I'll be introducing my new comic, which is scheduled to come out in February. I'll be talking about junior high horrors. I'm supposed to be doing a panel where I'm actually like being interviewed about different things that I've done. So that's going to be pretty cool. And of course, we're going to give out the second Kibbe Award. Anybody that knows the comic conventions here, all the way up to Baltimore, all the way down to like South Carolina, knew who Charles Kibbe was. A man who unfortunately last year lost his life to COVID, but he was always like the premier helper at the conventions. So I sat there last year after he passed away, and I said we ought to do something really nice for Kibbe. And I gave the idea to a bunch of comic book conventions that they should give out an award called the Kibbe for the best assistant or helper or volunteer at the convention. So now, like, all the work that goes into putting the convention together, they now give a Kibbe Award to that person. And last time they gave a one-of-a-kind print to the person that won it. And they also gave him a coupon for a tattoo, because those were the two types of conventions that Kibbe would go to, were comic book and tattoo conventions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm happy to be even just mentioned as part of it. But it just made sense to like talk to conventions and say, hey, you guys really ought to do something for him, because he always helped you guys out. I don't think he ever got paid to help either. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Nice. So Tino, a little show called Heels finished up this week.
Was that the last episode?
That was the last episode. Season finale, sir.
And I told you when I finished watching it, I texted you. I'm like, I love the show. It's great storytelling, but I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it really doesn't. We won't spoil it for everybody, but the episode is called Double Turn,
which isn't what I thought it was going to be. Can I say what?
What did you think was going to happen? Now, folks, this is not necessarily what happened, but this is what Tino was expecting.
I was expecting when Stephen Amell's character couldn't get to his brother and talk, I figured to help him turn face in the ring, he would say something about it to make the crowd realize, oh, you're an ass and Ace is really good, and they were going to cheer him, and then he would win. That's how I thought they were going to do. So, you know what I'm saying? So he'd go from a heel to a face, because they were kind of cheering Stephen Amell's character too. So I figured they would completely boo him and face turn again. And
in the episode, the reason why they started cheering Jack's character, which is Stephen Amell, the reason why they were cheering him was because the guy from the Florida Dystopia Wrestling was sitting there egging them on to chant for Jack, because Jack wanted everybody to cheer Ace, and Rooster, the guy who left the DWL to be part of the Florida Dystopia, sat there and basically said, if you want to get him back for what he just did on your program, you got to do the same thing back to him. And what you got to do is basically change the story on Jack, because Jack writes everything, and how he writes it is how you're supposed to react to it. And if you go in there and you play it up your way instead, then you're going to get everything you want out of it rather than when Jack gets what he wants out of it. And you end up winning and beating
one of my favorite parts. And it actually made me laugh when she's like, she goes, "What are you going to do?" He goes, "I'm just going to lay here." Like that.
So Chris Bauer. So all right. So unfortunately, we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We have to.
I didn't want to spoil it. I knew you would know what I was talking about when I just said that.
Oh yeah. So Cowboy Bill, Wild Bill is supposed to climb the ladder, but decided, and I love how they so they
whatever he took.
That's exactly what it is. So he was asking for painkillers, and the big guy was like,
Diego.
"This is all I can get you, and you shouldn't take that other stuff anyway, because that other stuff could cause you to have massive diarrhea, could have this happen, could have this happen, all this weird shit could happen to you." And of course, what happens is he takes it, he falls out of the ring, and you just hear this massive fart, but it's not a fart.
It just lays on the apron.
And of course, the little girl Crystal sits there and goes, "What, Bill, get up. Like, what are you doing?" And he goes, I think I might have just shit myself. And she goes, "Oh, God." And he goes, "All right, I did shit myself."
He goes, "What do we do?" He goes, and he looks her dead eye. He goes, "I'm just going to lay here and play dead." And he goes,
and he literally just stuck his tongue out and just laid back. He was like,
"Oh,
it was excellent. The way the episode ended, I don't want to ruin that for anybody that hasn't watched it. There's a lot of turmoil, a lot of drama. I didn't realize it, but the guy that actually ran the show, so the not necessarily the producer, but they call him the showrunner. The showrunner of it was actually the guy that played Charlie Gully. So back in the day, he was in ESPN commercials called The Rick, that you might remember. He was also on a TV show on CBS for a long time. So the fact that he wanted to do this show of all shows and play like the evil wrestling promoter from down south, I just thought was hilarious.
He's good at it. And he's funny. That's another thing about this show. He's an asshole, but you can't help but like him because he's just an asshole and he's funny.
Well, there's I watch a lot of shows like that. Like I love Billions on Showtime, which just ended its 5th season. And the two main characters in that are rich assholes that hate each other, and yet you can't help but go, "Damn, I want to be that guy."
Yep.
On either side of it, because one of them plays the U.S. attorney, the other one plays the rich billionaire hedge fund manager, and you're like, man, wouldn't it be awesome to just call up Metallica and say, "Hey, I want you to do a private show at my house," that kind of shit.
Wow.
So, and then of course Metallica shows up in the episode. So, couldn't they have just got Dusty and Ted Turner and Jim Crockett? Chris Barrett, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Like in the show, no, because Dusty's not with us anymore.
That'd be kind of hard.
And I don't even know if Jim Crockett's not with us anymore either.
I think they're all dead. Is Ted Turner dead?
I don't know.
You keep talking. I'm gonna check this out. I believe Jim Crockett's dead, but I'm gonna switch to another topic that we like to bring up. Evil Southern promoters. No, I like Charlie Gully. He's awesome. So I would much prefer him play that role rather than you bring in an actual pro wrestler for it, because most pro wrestlers wouldn't be able to act their way out of the paper bag. So yes, I knew Jim Crockett was passed. And we know Dusty's
on a somber note, I have a GameStop story of the week.
Ted Turner's still alive. He's old as shit.
What's that?
Ted Turner's still alive. He's just old as shit. Well, he's 82.
Yeah, he's pretty old as shit then. Yeah. So, and we don't want to wish ill will on Ted Turner. So, guy's still a billionaire. But so Tino, this week, my former employer announced to their stores. I don't know if it's public knowledge yet or not, but announced to their stores, and I saw it on Reddit.
I was about to say, how do you
that they will be open on Thanksgiving?
Weren't they open on Thanksgiving before? Because I remember you saying people bring you food on Thanksgiving.
So about 2016, we started opening on Thanksgiving for like 4 hours. Last year, due to COVID and restrictions, they did not allow. They just stayed closed, like every other major retailer. This year, every other major retailer is still going to be closed. And GameStop decided that they are going to jump the gun on everybody else and be open for 4 hours. They haven't said what the 4-hour time frame is going to be yet. So I would anticipate they'll do a 5 to 9 or a 6 to 10.
Are they open on Black Friday too?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just let them have a day? Let them have a day.
But you're not wrong. I hated working Thanksgiving. Now there are some positives to it, okay? And I'll explain. I understand the corporate understanding of this. Getting out before all the other retailers do means you're going to have sales and they're not, right? Like, it also means that you don't necessarily have to open as early on Friday because you've already had your major doorbusters on Thursday. Okay.
Right.
So you're spreading out the sales and you're making it not as hectic on Friday. Totally fine with that too. The number one reason why I'm okay with it is because while I was working there, GameStop paid us time and a half plus 8 hours of holiday pay.
Oh, wow.
So if you went in an hour before you're supposed to open, you left an hour after you closed because you're cleaning up and everything, you got 6 hours of time and a half. And then you also got 8 hours for, it being a holiday. So you technically get paid double time and a half for working those hours.
Okay.
GameStop typically only pays full-timers that time and a half for that stuff. But on Thanksgiving, they've been giving every single employee that worked time and a half. I don't know what their plan is there. I'm obviously not in their payroll department. But I would anticipate that they still call Thanksgiving a holiday, so they still get at least the 8 hours plus the time and a half for the full-timers.
That's fair.
But it's I'm not going to say it's more than fair, but it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
And it's funny because my current employer calls Thanksgiving and Black Friday holidays. So I get paid for both of those days without having to go to work. So
what is this guy?
So what I wanted to do last year, my first year not working at GameStop on Thanksgiving, was I wanted to go take like a beach chair and sit outside and just eat popcorn.
Be an asshole.
Well, I would probably bring a Thanksgiving dinner for the manager because that's the right thing to do. But then I would sit there and I would just be, snacking away on something.
Be an asshole.
Yeah.
Would that piss you off if somebody did that to you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, then, sir.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that, though? Like, knowing that Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all of these places paying better are also closed on that day.
I don't think it's right. Like I said, you're already going to have them working there on Black Friday. Let them have a day to enjoy their family. It goes back to, I think we talked about this before, is morale. If they feel like you don't give a shit about them, they're not going to give a shit about them. They're going to sit on your counter and let their girlfriends feed them chicken nuggets. I got you. There it is. I popped you.
Yeah, and coming from the former employee perspective of it, it's like, I'll tell you, I love my family, so I love having Thanksgiving dinner with them. I hated having Thanksgiving dinner at noon.
Yeah, I remember you guys used to do that. Yeah.
Well, it's because I had to be at work at 4 o'clock. So when everybody else would normally be having Thanksgiving dinner at 4 o'clock, I was at work. You know, because when they even went to the point where I think in 2019 we were open 4 to 10, and like it was 6 hours of the first hour was absolutely insane, and then you sit there for 5 hours. So it like the real thing that I don't understand about it is that GameStop right now, unless they're just going to start shipping stuff to the stores right now and saying hold it for Black Friday or hold it for Thanksgiving or whatever, they're not going to have any product. They don't have any systems right now. They don't have any PS5s or Xbox Series X's. They don't have the new Switch that just came out this week. You know, that it's annoying because what those employees are going to have to do is sit there and say, sorry, we're already sold out, and just get yelled at. Not to mention, let's be honest, the people that we anticipate will be shopping in the stores that day are probably your anti-maskers and your anti-vaxxers, right? So so the last thing you want is you know, someone in your face getting mad at you because you don't have something that may have been advertised but says limited quantities in stock, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of all that, did you watch any of the new Dave Chappelle special?
No, I need to. I've been hearing it's causing an uproar.
It's Dave Chappelle. Yeah, I actually think that he was doing. I think he was doing a mental study of Netflix. I think he knew that it was the last show that he had, and he wanted to give them some controversy so they either do or don't want to sign him again. You know, like he's perfectly fine with his $70 million he made off those last four
he's
specials.
Crazy and he's crazy like a fox. I agree with you. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, he is an absolute genius, and I'm not just saying that. He's like a Juilliard educated person.
Yes.
You know, he went to a really, really massive head just smart people schools, from high school on, he is a genius. And it's funny because one of the jokes that I distinctly remember from it is he's talking about how this woman walked up to him while he was in a restaurant without a mask on, and he almost got into a fight with her because she didn't have a mask on, and he kept saying it. She kept using those H words like how are you, and and he's holding his hand over his glass because he doesn't want to get the spittle in there,
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, and it's what you expect from him, and anybody that takes offense to it just doesn't understand that the world of a comedian right now, it's completely changed from 10 years ago, from 5 years ago. You can't say anything you want, and I love Ricky Gervais for that, because he's like, I can say whatever the hell I want. You can get offended by it, but that's on you, Chappelle basically takes it the same way. So
you got all the cancel culture stuff too. Just it's freedom of speech, people.
Yeah,
you don't like it, turn channel, turn it off.
Yeah. Of course, that ends up getting things canceled as well, because if nobody's watching it because you offended everybody. Like Roseanne getting kicked off of Roseanne,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Sorry, I'm losing my voice for some reason. Probably karaoke last night. And I know I'm going to lose my voice this weekend, because every time I do a convention, I lose my voice. So like next week, don't expect me to talk too much. So all right, Tino. Last week, we start our wrestling off with the show that we do this show during, NXT 2.0.
2.0, and it finally happened, and I'm so excited. Ciampa has agreed to put that title up against. Fuck it, I'm gonna call him Rex Steiner. I'm gonna call him Rex Steiner. I don't give a damn what they call him. That damn
Braun Breaker.
And I'm
I have
wondering.
a problem with this.
Yeah, problem with it.
I have a problem with it.
Why?
Because we know Ciampa's going to lose.
Not necessarily. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to swerve us.
I almost hope they are, but like they are making Breaker into this unstoppable machine.
Because as much as I like him and I think he should be an NXT champion, just not yet.
Yeah, he's not ready for it yet.
So if he
literally debuted 3 weeks ago.
I won't. You know what? If they put him, if him and Ciampa have this match, and he looks strong and he holds, takes Braun to his, I'm not Braun. He takes Ciampa to his limit, and he still loses. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it builds the character, especially if they go to do the handshake at the end.
Yes.
But
and even if he doesn't, if he turns heel, Ciampa puts that hand out there and he walks away or smacks his hand away. I'm cool with that too. You know what I'm saying?
But I think you're right. I think that is the correct way to go. I just don't think they're going to do it. Like I think that Vince and Pritchard and Kevin Dunn are all perfectly happy with MSK as the tag champs.
Because they're
perfectly happy with Raquel Gonzalez as the women's champ.
For now. Because you know where that's going. That's about to go over to Mandy.
Yeah.
Now those two ugly bitches she's with, they don't need no belts. They need to keep them off TV. Go ahead.
They're not that ugly, man.
You know how they say that pretty girls hot chicks hang out with ugly girls and make them look hotter? They make it. Yeah, they're making Mandy look.
I mean, we're not talking Abaddon here.
No, true.
Which, by the way, Abaddon without the makeup is a very attractive woman.
I don't know why she does that to herself then.
Well, because she wants to be different.
I want to see Abaddon without makeup. Now I'm interested. Now I'm curious.
Pull it up.
I will after the show. I'm just curious now.
So we did get MSK retaining their tag team championships, and of course this week we've got their new El Idolo going up against what's his face for the North American Championship.
And he'll probably win it because Swerve hasn't defended it, and he's going to SmackDown. So we know he's going to win the belt.
I mean, I'm okay with that, although it does make me laugh that it's the first title defense.
As Swerve does, he loses.
Yeah, and even Ciampa, first title defense, we expect him to lose.
I'm hoping not, but
no, I really hope that their plan is to really use Ciampa. I hope that their plan is to really use Johnny Gargano. Like, have them be the guys that win, and then you get to the pay-per-view match or the takeover match, and that's when they lose. Because they're Teflon. However, Johnny Gargano's contract rumored to be up December 3rd. On his Twitter profile, took down NXT wrestler.
So are we saying that are we thinking he's not going to stick around?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, the place that would be perfect for Johnny Gargano would be Impact Wrestling. Actually, Ring of Honor would be perfect for Johnny, but Ring of Honor doesn't get any traction anymore.
Yeah,
CZW gets more traction.
I didn't even watch that.
Or GCW. I'm sorry, GCW. The one that Moxley's currently the champ of, till he faces Nick Gage again. Because Matt Cardona can only go through one of those matches.
Yeah.
Was there anything else worth talking about from NXT? I mean, Cameron Grimes was there.
Grimes was there.
Chris Barrett brings up what could be a good point here. So I don't mean to interrupt you, Tino, but he says that Johnny will most likely stick around. I don't know. I think that right now, the people that had gotten NXT to where it is today, and then 3 weeks ago, like, just got shit on, I think that they feel jaded by it. I think that they're probably sitting there going, I can't believe that after all this hard work, after this, getting NXT to where we were doing $1 million gates at the Barclays Center and stuff like that, you just took it all away from us. Like we were building, and then your stupidity caused us to lose a North American champion who's super young and super different in style, caused us to lose the arguably the biggest name in NXT, Adam Cole.
Okay.
You just moved Finn back up to the main roster. Like you literally gutted NXT. You got rid of almost the entire tag team division.
Well,
yeah.
Because Orny Lorcan and his partner's still there. Danny Burch is still there.
Yeah, but one of them was hurt for so long that they don't release people while they're hurt normally.
Oh yeah.
I say normally.
The grizzled young veterans. Yeah, you're about right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. After MSK, they're like everybody else gone. The 2.0 now in AEW.
Well, they suck anyway.
The Fat Young Bucks.
Stop.
Oh, you're allowed to say those ugly bitches, but I can't say the Fat Young Bucks.
Because those guys don't want young buckets, but them bitches are ugly.
Oh, you're tripping me out. Tripping me out. So all right. AEW. Yeah, no, right. Cody Rhodes and Arn Anderson having a bonfire outside or something.
He's burning Cody's suits. He goes, you finally know I'm down here. Oh, look at that. He's up on his balcony. Arn, is that you? This man has gone in his backyard, pulled out a barrel, set a fire, and somehow got one of your suits and is putting it in the fire, and you didn't know he was out there.
You know what's weird about that is it was just like a week ago that Seth Rollins broke into Edge's house wearing his crazy suit. Which, by the way, was a suit that he got from a TikToker.
Yep.
I think I sent you that video, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so we got that. We got Bryan Danielson. No, we didn't have Bryan Danielson this week, did we?
Did Punk wrestle Friday or Wednesday?
Punk wrestled Friday because he wrestled Daniel Garcia on Friday. But no, we had because it was the anniversary show. We had the ladder match, and then we had the Super Elite versus Jungle Express and then Jurassic Express and Christian and Daniel Bryan. Yeah, Bryan Danielson. He was in that.
They unveiled the TBS title, which is going to be for the ladies.
It's an ugly title.
Maybe they should bring one of them ugly.
And now even the TNT title again. It's ugly.
Maybe they need to bring one of them ugly chicks from NXT to put that TBS title on.
I mean, it literally looks like they let -1 sit there and bejazzle it.
Or put it on Abaddon. Let her.
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa ain't ugly.
Thunder Rosa probably is going to win that TBS title, by the way.
It's either her or Ruby Soho.
I don't think. By the way, I've already told you I don't like the booking of Ruby Soho and Bryan Danielson the way that they've been booked already because they've been booked to be better than the AEW Elite already. And when I say the AEW Elite, I don't mean the Elite. I mean, the top tier talent. These two walked in the door and suddenly they're already being given like a top spot in the company. Whereas at least Punk got a premier spot for his first match back, but has kind of been working the lower card since then. Will Hobbs is going to be a star at some point. But then Daniel Garcia on Friday, like has he won a match? He's working with the Fat Young Bucks. So You're trying so hard not to crack a smile.
No, it's still not gonna be. It's still not funny. You've said it 3 times in the show. It's still not funny.
I love it. I think it's hilarious. And then, of course, we get the ladder match at the end of the night. And the ladder match at the end of the night.
And what did I tell you was going to happen?
Oh, we knew.
No, you said they should. You said no. You didn't think they were going to.
No, I didn't.
Homegrown what? Anyone the AEW is getting from W is 10 times better than homegrown. I don't know about all that.
I'll give Chris Barrett. I'm going to go ahead and post that one up for anybody watching. To say that the WWE talent that they're taking is better. I mean, they've gotten some very high quality people recently. I mean, Adam Cole gets to fit right into the elite, right? So the super click. Bryan Danielson comes in, and Bryan Danielson was in the main event at WrestleMania, so you can't exactly say that he doesn't deserve to be at the top of the card. And then Ruby Soho should have been women's champion multiple times, but because of that busted nose, they just never pulled the trigger with her,
But then,
so which one's uglier, the NXT girls that you're talking about, or Ruby Soho?
Oh, the NXT girls. I can't. And they just need to bathe. I don't. I can't.
Anyways, but yes, they did poach some top talent. Okay, now I posted in our Facebook group, though. I posted the picture of the Chris Jericho sitting there giving that little statement of, we're not going to grab everybody from WWE that gets let go. We're going to there's a certain culture and everybody's got to fit in. And then all of a sudden it's like a wah, 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 wah. And it's like this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this girl, this guy, this guy, this guy, this girl, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And I mean, it's just, it's like 60 talents from the WWE are now over in AEW. I mean, Bobby Fish just got signed.
Is he signed?
Yes, he's all elite. He got signed after his match.
Yeah, because he's going against Daniel Bryan, isn't he? Or Bryan Danielson. I keep wanting to call him Daniel Bryan.
No, he's going up against somebody else. I think he is supposed to go up against Bryan Danielson on Rampage.
Yeah.
But Bryan Danielson just got announced to go up against Murder Grandpa. Yeah.
That's gonna be a good match.
He's gonna give Daniel Bryan a concussion.
He's gonna fuck Daniel. And Daniel Bryan's good. Daniel Bryan's good, but what's his name?
Minoru Suzuki.
He's gonna fuck him up.
Murder Grandpa. He's gonna give Daniel Bryan a concussion.
Oh my!
He's gonna think his name is Daniel Bryan after he gets hit.
I saw this. We saw that when I went to the thing with Jason a couple weeks ago. I saw this dude live up close in person, and he's working snug and stiff. You could see when he was chopping dude's chest. At the end of that match, like hamburger meat. The other dude's chest like hamburger meat, and he hit him with a forearm, part elbow. I mean, he's laying him in. I don't know if Daniel works snug, but he's gonna give him a concussion.
Bryan Danielson is a very snug wrestler. But he also knows what he's not supposed to do anymore. And Wrestle Murder Grandpa is one of those things you're not supposed to do. I mean, that's like saying Bryan Danielson versus Nick Gage next week.
Right?
What the fuck are you thinking?
And dude is like 50 years old.
He's like 60 years old, man.
He is no joke. He is no joke.
Yeah, I
that's nothing to play with.
No. So Hangman Page makes his epic return as the Joker
and grabs the chip.
It was the most obvious scenario, and of course the story of Hangman can't challenge for the world title. All of a sudden now he has a world title opportunity. Is now the time to pull the trigger and give the homegrown Adam Page the world title.
Yes. I mean, it's been what, 2 years?
I mean, he was Chris Jericho's first opponent for the title.
And when he left, he still had some unfinished business with the Elite. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing he was hanging out with the Dark Order, and they were going against the Elite. Then he like disappeared, or I guess he got hurt. So
no. So his wife had a baby. And you know, like everybody in wrestling is doing, you know, like now he'll be announced to have his own TV show, because that's what happens when you end up having a baby.
Moxley doesn't have his own TV show.
Nah, well, he might as well.
Bray Wyatt didn't get his own TV show when they had the baby.
No, but Miz got his show and Cody got his show.
That too. More couples are having babies.
What's that?
More couples are having babies.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not all getting TV shows. Only 2 of them.
Fine. Only 2 of them got a TV show. Still more TV shows than they had.
What are you doing?
I'm doodling.
What are you doing?
I'm doodling.
In the middle of the show, you just go doodle.
I'm just doodling. Keeps my brain working, man.
Oh, God.
Smack down.
Layeth the smacketh downeth.
So Bekki Lynch's finisher was approved by The Rock.
The manhandle slam.
The manhandle is now the rock bottom, except it is the manhandle.
Oh, that's what I don't know. Yeah, I guess that is the Rock.
So originally it was a different move that started out the same way, and I think she used to tuck them, but now it's just a straight up rock bottom. Kind of like how Moxley went from having the front forward DDT to the actual DDT for his finisher.
Why does The Rock have to approve it?
What? She asked for his permission.
That's not really. I mean, I'm sure. Did he ask for permission?
What are you doing?
Huh?
What the hell are you doing?
It's a bear claw bat scratcher, but I'm, you know, my goatee is kind of, yeah.
You're getting mad at me for doodling, and you're sitting there with what looks like a little metal cat paw, like just scratching at your face.
It is. It's a bear claw. Look. See?
It doesn't look like it's got apples in it.
Then I do that.
Oh, that actually looks really cool. I need one of them. Should get me one.
Nicole got it. I don't know what she got it. See, and it's called, I don't know if you see it, bear claw.
Bear claw.
Bear claw.
You got to get me one of those. You know, since I got you a Potsy and Tino show mask.
So
on SmackDown, Paul Heyman just once again. Why doesn't he host like a how to deliver a promo?
I don't know, because that promo, every promo he does,
when he is given time, he elevates. I mean, he could be sitting there talking about a cup of coffee, and he'd be like, "When I have this cup of coffee, the smoke coming out of it and the steam coming off of it, it just makes it that much stronger." You know, and you're just like, this guy just sold me a cup of coffee. Like,
he's good.
He could have sold Chris Bauer's shit-stained pants from the Heels episode.
Or the shit stain on the edge of the apron of the ring.
Did you see when he leaned up, they actually put a brown stain on the carpet?
Yeah, then when he got up, when he started walking, and the camera put in the frames, went, "Ooh."
Well, he did that. He did that. You know, like you got to put your hand over your butt.
Yeah.
So you know he was gonna get a stink hand.
Yeah.
I thought what he was gonna do when he clotheslined Charlie Gully, I thought he was gonna teabag him. and sit on top of him and just get that shit all over.
Oh.
And I bet there's a take of them doing that.
That would have been awesome.
Because, just a clothesline would have taken him down, but he would have gotten up from that. Like he runs a wrestling fed. He's taking bumps.
No, he took a hell of a punch when the old boy.
Well, that was just a punch, We'll come back to SmackDown. I want to talk about that. Like, how crazy was it that he's whining and dining Ace the whole time, and then just when you think Ace is going to show up as the babyface in the Florida wrestling dystopia, Gully turns around and it's Jack. It's not Ace. And what's he do? He just sits there and thinks, just like the week before, where Wild Bill shows up in the steel cage. It's like, oh, we gotta do something here, right? So he just goes with it and pays the price for it. And I love that if you watch, as the credits started, it comes back from the credits and he goes, "Somebody get that motherfucker!"
Yeah.
How did he get past all the security?
Him, to get in there?
Yeah.
They probably let him in. Like, hey.
No. Everybody on that security detail knew exactly who the bad guy is.
Well, they let him in.
Yeah, and they do the whole he's just walking in like this. Did he buy a ticket? How did he get backstage?
He came in the back door, probably, waiting for the guard to come in from a smoke break and did the whole stick your foot in the door right before it closes.
Put a little bubble gum in there on Friday night.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a very as a show, I hope it gets a season 2 because they left it in a spot where you're already asking what the hell are they going to do, and then on top of that, I mean they built enough drama in it where you don't know what's going on with Jack and his wife, you don't know what's going on with the kid, you don't know are Ace and Jack going to be able to actually coexist? Are they and the fact that everything's supposed to be on script, but yet for whatever reason the script never seems to play out. The only guy that ever stays on script is Bobby Pinn, and he got his leg ripped off.
Well, he got to be the referee in that match.
Yeah,
the ladder match, he's the referee.
And I even like that they brought back the Big Jim. Yeah, from the first episode, just the big simpleton, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but okay, I'll be a.
I don't want to wrestle no more. I'm retired. I only have one match.
And then he shows up to wrestle. And then, of course, Ricky Rabies came back. Good old CM Punk's character.
Yeah, that show, man. That's just. I can't say enough about that show. I love that show.
It's just too bad it was only 8 episodes. It really needs more.
I think they were probably just kind of dipping their toe in the water, trying to see if they'll get people to watch it and if people would like it. I think now, I don't know what the numbers are, but I think that enough people will watch it and are enjoying it that they'll probably bring it back with more episodes next season. There'll probably be a 10, because normally there are 10 or 12 episodes of a series like that, right?
Normally, yeah. So with it though, the ratings did come in. And the second to last episode did only 70,000 people watched it.
God damn. Now,
at the same time, though, that was 70,000 people that watched it at the 9:00 hour on Sunday night on Starz TV show. That had nothing to do with all the people that signed up for the Starz app to be able to watch it that way.
Gotcha.
So of course they're gonna have to tell us at some point what the viewing numbers actually were for the show, because I mean I didn't wait until 9:00 on Sunday night to watch it. I most times if I was still up at midnight on Saturday, it was on there at 12:01, so I would just load it up and start watching it.
Yeah.
However, at this point, I'm probably going to cancel Starz until it comes back, because there's nothing on that network that I really want to watch. I've already watched everything that I wanted to, like Spartacus and Evil Dead Ash versus Evil Dead. So, but it is what it is. So, all right, SmackDown. Paul Heyman, we already talked about him. You get, they had the draft, but the draft doesn't go into effect until after Crown Jewel.
They're just dumb.
It's just stupid. The only reason why I don't mind that is because they have been showing those big banners that say, hey, this is going to be the who's going to be on the show after this.
Yeah.
But when you've got Edge and Seth Rollins right on the front, but down in the corner of the Monday Night Raw one, and you've got Kevin Owens somewhere in the middle, it's like, are we still not seeing the dollars when it comes to Kevin Owens?
No.
Because I'll tell you, like,
they'll see it when he goes over there to Owen Hart. When's that Owen Hart Cup?
Yeah, well, you're on board with my theory there, huh?
Yeah, makes sense.
So all right, so I don't really have anything else to talk about when it comes to SmackDown either, man. Like we're gonna get out of here pretty quick tonight. It looks like. We do have Rampage to talk about, and I do want to talk about that CM Punk match, because last week I was sitting there giving Punk a little bit of shit, saying that he looked a little slow in the ring, and this week against a young kid, he held his own. He looked good. I think we all knew that it was just going to take some time to get his legs back under him. I think he's decided he's not going to wear the short trunks anymore.
And I like that. I don't know if it's because he was selling the knee or what the deal is. I like that he used the Anaconda Vice to win that match.
Well, I think that was more along the lines of possibly saying this kid doesn't deserve to go to sleep. So
I thought he was selling the knee, because remember, the dude fucked his knee up.
Well, but yeah, I know, but think about it though. Like, WWE used to not let people submit wrestlers because it made them look weak.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it's showing how weak the kid is by putting him away that way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't deserve a 3 count. I'm going to make you sleep.
Yeah.
But yes, it was nice to see him actually pull out another finishing move. And just like Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, I don't think is using his Shining Wizard jump kick as his finisher, or the label lock. I think he's using something else. What's that?
He's using the label lock. What's he used?
I can't remember what it was, but I don't think he won his last match with the label lock.
Okay.
But anyways,
that where they finally had Brian Cage against Ricky Starks too.
I'm hearing that Brian Cage really doesn't like what they're doing with this character.
Don't blame him.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see him be one of the first people that jump ship the other way.
To Impact?
No. To WWE.
Do you think WWE will take him? Because how old is he?
I mean,
while he's there, the big dude like they like, he might be too old for him. I thought they were trying to do this younger.
You know that if they see something in a talent, they're not going to care about their rules. That's why they were going to try to keep Adam Cole, even though obviously, like, they didn't know what they wanted to do with Adam Cole.
And 2, Brian Cage isn't a homegrown boy, so they'll probably push him to the moon for 6 months and then bury him.
Maybe. But a lot of guys weren't homegrown at one point, and then all of a sudden, like, WWE decided to push him anyway, like Booker T. It happens. So
he has it. I don't know if Brian Cage has it. You know what I mean?
It's weird because I tend to agree with you. I don't think we've seen like the speed and movement that we want out of a guy like that. So I think you're right when you're saying that. But at the same time, I don't know if he's ever. It's so tough to say because you look at these guys and you don't know what their motivation is, right? So you don't know how motivated he is to perform at the highest level because he's at technically the second highest level right now. And I only say second highest because like we tend to believe that WWE with their $6 billion worth of contracts is still worth more money, so they're still technically the big dog, right? But I don't know. It's something I question with a lot of those guys because some of them look like they phone it in, and like when you're on live television and you're phoning it in, you can tell, So it's odd. So this week, Tino. This week, SmackDown is on FS1, not Fox.
Like 2.5, 3 hours?
2.5 hours. And the last half hour is commercial free and is Sasha Banks versus Charlotte.
For the belt?
I think so.
But that's the Raw belt. I think that I'm beginning to believe that Bianca's going to win the SmackDown belt and take it to Raw, and they're going to that's how they're not going to like switch it, but that's the SmackDown belt will just become the Raw belt. You know what I mean? And I think that Sasha may beat Charlotte for the belt because I don't see how they're going to. I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to get those belts swapped, other than doing the like we said the New Day and Street Profits thing.
Well, and that just might be something that Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville force on them, right? You take that belt, we're done.
Yeah.
That way they get to keep their heel heat and everything else from it or whatever. But either way, but interestingly enough, Tony Khan posted a tweet this week that said, "Oh, we're not competition. Can't wait to actually go head to head against you and beat your ass in the ratings this week too."
On Friday?
Yeah, because that first half an hour they're head to head. And Fox, it not being on Fox means that you have to assume, because the last time they were on FS1, they did a shit rating. So they're WWE stacking the card this weekend. This week they've already said it's Finn versus Sammy for the to get into the finals of the King of the Ring. You got the next round of the women's matches for the Queen's Crown or whatever the hell they're calling it. You've got Sasha versus Charlotte. You've got a Brock Lesnar appearance. So like they're stacking it, and it's going to be on FS1.
So what is that? That's 8 till
10:30. They're till 10:30, and Tony Khan goes live at 10. Well, I don't even think they're live. I think they're taping it.
If he'd have been smart, well, he probably didn't know. If he'd been smart, he'd have done a live show.
Maybe it is a live show this week.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah. That'll put butts in seats.
Okay, Bischoff.
Speaking of Tony Schiavone, Tony Schiavone was at a signing this week, and MJF was also there. So Tony Schiavone, when MJF wasn't at his table and had all his pictures out, took one of the MJF pictures and wrote like, "Fuck you."
Oh, damn.
And then signed his name on it and then put it back.
He signed whose name? Tony's name or MJF's name?
So it was an MJF picture, and he signed Tony Schiavone. he wrote like "fuck you, you motherfucker" or something like that, and then signed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. So, but otherwise, Tino, I already talked about Fayetteville Comic Con. I just want to reiterate, anybody in the North Carolina area, if you want to come out, it's going to be a fun show. always doing cosplay contests and stuff like that. They've got professional wrestlers out there. They've got Jim Shooter, the former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, is actually going to be there, and he's going to be doing a panel, so that's going to be pretty cool. And then, of course, I'll be there, so anybody that wants to come out and, get a book signed or, help pay for my gas. I'll be doing sketches and stuff. I'll probably have just like a little thing that's got sketches in it that I've already done that people can buy, because I've got just hundreds of sketches from this year already. Of course, now I've got the iPad, so I don't do anything like on real paper anymore.
Right? Told you it'll pay for itself.
Oh, it's still such an expensive thing, man. Did I tell you I got a raise at work?
Yep.
Did I say that on the air last week?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You got a raise and you're still eligible for your yearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably won't get one of those though.
Why?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think I work hard enough and they see it, so I'm sure I'll get something. A nice pat on the back.
There you go. A pat on the back, attaboy.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. Now get back out there and work harder. So, but otherwise, Tino, I don't really have anything else, man.
Me neither. Cool.
Hour and 12 minutes.
Wow, that's the thing. That's the shortest.
Yeah, it's basically because I didn't watch wrestling this week.
The bitch, you need to watch some wrestling this week.
Oh, I did watch Monday Night Raw last night. Oh, we didn't talk about Monday Night Raw. You have Big E coming out talking about his nipples?
No, that was funny.
Betwixt my nipples.
And you can see Drew trying to laugh.
And later when they're backstage talking about it again, Big E's like, when I was talking about the moistness just dripping down my face and
he said, I saw your
my nipples.
He said, I saw your dimples tweak or dimples twitch. Like, you dumbass. But yeah, I thought they were setting up a New Day thing though when the announcer came up and asked Xavier and Kofi, says, so if Kofi wins and you guys face each other, who would win that? And they're like, I thought they were planting something. I really thought that Xavier was going to turn and help Jinder.
I think the original plan was to have the two of them go against each other, and then while the show was going on, Vince changed his mind.
Because I think Xavier too is another one they're sleeping on. I think they need to give him a singles run.
Well, the rumor is he's the favorite to win the King of the Ring.
Oh, that's good.
And you can just imagine him with that microphone, the way that he holds the microphone, and when he holds it like this.
Oh yeah,
it's down here. Like I could picture him coming out with a golden microphone to go with his crown and cape.
Yeah,
I could totally see, and I could see that getting between him and Kofi.
I think there's a heel turn coming for him.
I think that there is. The rumor is already that Drew McIntyre is going to line up to go against Roman for a while, and then Kofi actually could very well be the next guy to go against him. So yes, Barrett, that is just mean. That is wrong. I'm going to post it just for a second so everybody can see it. Saying that Xavier Woods is the next King Mabel is just wrong. He's a lot more talented than Mabel. And remember, he was Viscera. And he had them titties on the front and the backside.
The love machine. And he just walk around in the big ass pajamas. And he broke Lillian Garcia's heart.
He used to do some really weird angles, man. Mae Young giving birth to a hand.
That was Mark Henry.
I know. Naked Midian.
Okay. On that note, we're gonna end this shit right now. I didn't need.
Well, hold on. We ended up having a 4-way, but it started out as a tag team match between the two women's champions versus Sasha and Bianca. And then it became a 4-way dance. It felt like, because like none of them could get along.
Yeah.
But match of the night and probably match of the week for me, Tino, because we do have a little banner here that says match of the week.
The Ricochet match.
I'm gonna say was Xavier Woods and Ricochet. Like, yeah. And we did get a little more Matt Riddle and Randy Orton.
He's like, Randy, now, Randy. Dumbass. He thought they were still setting a trap. Oh,
I like just the whole backstage thing where he's like, you know, I like Lunchables.
I don't know how Randy keeps a straight face.
Years of practice.
Oh.
He's the new Undertaker.
He just keeps a straight face. Riddle is some trouble.
Yeah.
Riddle's awesome. He's one of my favorites. We know I like Grimes. That's one of my favorites. So I think that.
All right, sir.
I think the RK Bro thing's working. I do like the RK Bro thing.
Yes. Folks, if you could give the show one of these, and then if you could hit the subscribe on that little guy right there. Tino, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
Well, the misses are on that. All right. Excuse me. You can check him out on the Twitter machine at PotCheck. Excuse me. I'm at HoodieFan91. You can check us out on the Insta. He is Rob PotCheck. I am SC Tino. You can check him out on the Insta at Rob Potsy PotCheck. You can check the show out.
TikTok.
I said TikTok. I meant to say TikTok. Sorry. You can check him out on the. You made me lose my train of thought. You can check the show out on Twitter with Potsy and Tino. Facebook with the Potsy and Tino Show. We are also on the YouTube, so that's what you're watching right now. As always, we want to say thank you to Adam's Housecat for the wrestling song, which is our theme song. You can check it out on iTunes for 99 cents. And as always, while Rob doodles, we hear Ric Flair on that big house in the hill in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
I gotta pull up the theme. I gotta pull up the music.
I told you. And he is saying he's going to splatter your brains all over the concrete. He is saying, woo, woo, woo. Thinking.
Everybody wants to be the nature boy.
I am.